What's up, smarties? Welcome back or to my channel if you're new here. I am Aggie, a labor and delivery nurse and family nurse practitioner student. And if you clicked on this video, then you're probably wondering the reasons why you should not go to nurse practitioner school. Maybe you're considering that career choice, but you're on edge. Maybe you don't know how else to advance your nursing career. So if you are looking for reasons as to maybe why you should not pursue this career path, then please keep on watching. Also, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below. And let's hop right into it. The very first thing to consider, do not go to nurse practitioner school if you are unsure about being a provider. Are you unsure of whether you want to diagnose and treat patients? If you are not 100% sold on that idea, then do not hop into nurse practitioner school. It is a huge investment in your time and money, and it's stressful. It's not an easy program, no matter what school you go to, and unlike nursing school, you might have more responsibilities at this time in your life, including family, work, kids. You want to make sure your investment is wise. Piggybacking off of that, do not go to nurse practitioner school if you do not want to diagnose and treat patients. It's that easy. If you do not want to call the shots, why sign up for a program where it's teaching you and training you to do that? If you don't care about making orders and all that stuff, then don't even worry about this career path. Do not go to nurse practitioner school if you do not want the responsibility that comes with calling the shots. It might sound super cool that people are looking to you for orders and they're implementing your orders, but just realize that there's a liability that goes along with being a healthcare provider. And if you don't want that responsibility, then nurse practitioner school may not be for you. Not to mention, you have to pay for your own insurance with several practices, if not all, and insurance is not cheap by any means. Do not apply to nurse practitioner school if you do not want patients or people mistaking you for a doctor, or you don't like the idea of them thinking you're less than a doctor and therefore refusing your care. Now, I will say in my clinical experience, through my preceptorships and through my clinicals, I have not had any patients turn down our care, but my sister, who's a nurse practitioner, she has definitely can vouch for this, that there have been patients that wanted a dermatologist, and so that's just what it is. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of media surrounding nurse practitioners in the States, so a lot of people don't really get what we do. So we're still building our exposure in this country, and just making it clear as to our scope, and not to mention the laws for each state differ for what nurse practitioners can do, and the scope that they can, the level in which they can practice, and their independence and autonomy. It differs from state to state. So if you don't think that's something you could handle or kind of brush off your shoulders, then maybe nurse practitioner school is not for you. Do not go to nurse practitioner school if you do not want to find your own preceptor. Now, not all NP schools require this, but there are a lot that do. Not to mention the schools that do often find your own clinical placement, they sometimes will find that place that's far from your house, so you might be required to travel in order to make it to that site. So with that being said, if you cannot put yourself out there to connect with doctors, nurse practitioners, and ask them if they can take on students, then sis, take it from me. Do not stress yourself out. Go to PA school for all I care. I know, listen, they don't have the same problems as we do in NP school, but NP school may not be for you if you're not willing to endure that stress, okay? Okay, last but not least, do not go to nurse practitioner school if you do not do well with a learning curve. NP schools usually are between 2 and 3 years versus an MD program that's 4 years plus a residency program. So our training is a bit shorter, and because of that, we are we are challenged the task of teaching ourselves a lot, both during school and after school. A lot of the jobs will be offered, you know, you'll be continuously learning as you go. Granted, you are, listen, let me say this before I even go into that. As an MP, and when you graduate, just like in nursing school, you remember when you passed that NCLEX and, you know, you had your title as registered nurse, but once you started your job, you're like, what? Like, I don't know how to nurse. That's kind of similar to MP. You, through your clinicals, you get a really good experience in, you know, interviewing patients, assessing patients, diagnosing and treating them, but it's not until you get into the actual practice and through experience that you will start to gain your expertise in the field. And a lot of that has to come with self-teaching. So if that's not something you feel like you want to experience and you feel like you aren't a self-learner, then nurse practitioner school might not be for you. But I will say MPs, their care is like no other. All the MPs that I've worked with, they have been extremely thorough in interviewing me and assessing me, and because of that, I've trusted their care. And not to mention, they've always given like the best education, especially when it comes to primary care for me. So I think that's the unique thing about nurse practitioners, is that we do have that nursing background. So we have that compassion and we have that skill of really listening and thinking outside the box and considering all the factors that go into a patient's well-being and treating their problem or whatever it is that they presented with. So anywho, that concludes all the reasons I have for why you should not pursue nurse practitioner school. I hope this is helpful to you guys. Please leave down in the comments if this is helpful for you and if you have anything to contribute. I have made an alternate video about other careers you can pursue as a registered nurse. I will link that down in the description box. And yeah, check out my other videos. I make lots of nursing videos that are informative, some that are fun, some that are both. And I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.